Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make social media sites less addicting so that you can still use social media sites without getting sucked into the wormhole of stuff. That, like, for example, I have Instagram open. Sometimes you just need to open Instagram. Maybe you need to check messages or what have you. But look at all this, which is basically carefully designed to keep me on Instagram for longer than I intend to. So let's get rid of it. The first primary weapon that you have is extensions primarily built for these kinds of social media sites. So you can just search one up for whatever social media site you're trying to target. I have Antigram here. And note that before you do this, you do want to wipe social media from your phone and just use it on your computer, because it's difficult to modify the social media apps on your phone. Much easier on a browser. So we have Antigram here. Right now it's disabled, but if I enable it, you see that, most stuff is gone. But sometimes your template extensions, which are useful, but they won't be enough. So if I reload the page, for example, I get this weird thing where you see that flash there, the stories flashed and then they disappeared. So the extensions, for some reason, they're not removing the stories fast enough. So I still see them, albeit briefly. And briefly is enough, by the way. If you get like a close friend story, you get this like green thing. That amount of time is enough for me to like perceive that there's a close friend story there. And that'll probably end up in me clicking, even if I didn't actually want to. So what you use is uBlock Origin, which is originally it's an ad blocker, but you can use it for this purpose. So if for some reason your extension is not blocking the element correctly, you just want to disable the extension, right? So now everything's back. And then this whole page was not really working. It was not being blocked properly. So we're going to block it with uBlock. So we click here, and we get a bunch of icons. You'll probably get these 5. The only one we're going to use is the element picker mode. So first you get this, where you get to pick an element with your mouse. So let's say we pick this here, right? Because we want to eliminate the stories. Now you get this menu right here. It's a little intimidating and confusing. So the left bar, okay, basically you can adjust this to capture more or less elements. In this case, we only want one element. So adjusting it to the left doesn't really help us. But we'll see later that sometimes we want more than one box. This is another thing on the right that you can control, that controls like the number of elements. See, in this case, it didn't do anything. But once you have red boxes around the stuff that you want to eliminate, in this case I have a red box around my stories, you click create, and it'll create a filter which basically just blocks that particular element every single time you visit. So when you refresh, the stories didn't even show up, right? Not even a flash. So we can do the same thing for these here, and you can scroll down, and okay, so this single red box captured everything, so we don't need to adjust these sliders here. We can just click create. Boom. And refreshing the page, gone. And we can also do that for this suggested for you section. So we'll click this, and notice we don't get the suggested for you header, so we can adjust this to the left. There we go. Now we have the suggested for you header, and if we keep going to the left, we get progressively bigger red, right? just adjust it enough to where you want it, and then you can click create. Great. So you can manually block all of Instagram this way. The extensions like Antigram will just make your life easier, so you don't have to do it all yourself. Now if I enable, all this stuff here, notice the Explore page wasn't quite blocked right, and so on. Maybe you want to go farther than this extension, for example. Maybe you want to block the Explore button and the Reels button altogether. So if you want to do that, that is also possible. So we'll open Instagram again. It seemed to crash. You can click this, right? Click Element Picker, and you can just go ahead and take this Explore button. Now, notice we clicked the Explore button, but then we had four. We have 4 elements. Oh no. So that's where this left one will not help us, because sliding this to the left is only going to make the red one bigger, right? So we try this right one, and we have this number 4 here. So if we adjust this to just 1 instead of 4, then we are selecting 1 element. And then we can click create, and it's gone. So the final thing I want to do is block Reels here. So let's see if looks like Reels keeps crashing. Okay, anyway, I think you guys get the idea now. So you basically just keep like zapping stuff that is addictive to you. And I have shown Instagram for this demo, but you can do basically any site like Twitter or YouTube maybe. The possibilities are endless. And especially with Twitter, I have found that there isn't quite a good extension to block absolutely everything that's addictive. So using uBlock in tandem with some other prepackaged extension for your site that you're targeting, whether it be Twitter or YouTube, is super useful. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks. Bye.